So stick around and I'll show you how I made this CrossCut sled. It's got the Kreg top track with measuring tape and a stop block. It's also got T-tracks with clamps. So I really like it. I think you will too. This is my front fence I'm gluing up. That piece there is 2 1/4 inches. The back one is 3 inches. It's important to get those dimensions right when you're using a Kreg top track. You'll see why here in a few minutes. Using my straight edge to clamp it up. I ended up trimming a little bit off, which affected the way the stop block actually works. There's that top track. You'll see that it needs 3/4 of an inch between the front piece and the back piece there. I'm pre-drilling these holes using a scrap piece of wood. I'm going to attach it to the front fence. Clamp it down first and then put the screws in. Here's a stop block set up for doing a crosscut, setting my saw depth. And I know it's 1 1/4 inches back that I set my guide. Oh, there's my track saw being delivered. Unfortunately, my tracks didn't get delivered, so I'll have to wait. So this is how I cut now, crosscut. Using these miter bars I got off Amazon. And nylon screws. I'm not real sure about these things. They look pretty flimsy. You can see there's plenty of play using these nylon screws. This is how you make it snug. So there's no play on both sides. I'll raise it up using pennies just so I can glue it to the bottom of a piece of 3/4 inch plywood. And plywood up against my fence. Put some weight on it for 2 or 3 minutes is all I needed. Super glue. And there you have it. I just gotta screw it onto the plywood. I did use my self-centering bit. That came in handy again to make sure I didn't move that thing at all. It's a little rough. Take some paste wax to the slots in the table. I'll put some paste wax on these miter bars too. Much nicer. My T-tracks are 3/8 of an inch, so I'm making the depth about 7/16. That went nice and smooth. I'm lining the other side. And you'll see here that I get it caught up on the fence. Ouch. Ooh. Check the damage here. Yeah, nothing I can do. Yeah, that'll buff right out. Just smoothing it down a little bit. I'm trimming the front and back fences here. I'm marking where I want my screws. Using this little tiny T-rule. Pretty handy to have. So now I alternate with 1/2 inch in and 1 inch in. Put the screws in. This is my front fence. Put my saw kerf in. Now I'm putting a little bevel on the front fence. Putting the T-tracks in now. Getting ready to square up the front fence now. So now I can pivot this. Since I have a bevel under here, I can't really slide this square. It'll go right under there. It won't be accurate. This will get me close. Using William Nigg's 5-cut method to make sure the fence is square. It's not really meant to be how to do it, but it's fairly simple. You just subtract the width of B from the width of A, divide it by 4, divide it by the length of the piece, and then multiply it by the distance between the pivot point and where you're going to adjust the fence. I know I had to move the fence back 9/100ths of an inch. So I've measured, and I know these cards together is the distance I need to move this back. Just like that. So now we'll clamp this in place. Drill a new hole. So I got 0.7420 and 0.7490. 7/1000ths of an inch off. I'm not going to mess with it. 7/1000ths is going to be good enough. And that was 7/1000ths over 17 inches. So I'm setting up to align the stop block. I know that is exactly 12 inches. I'm going to set the stop block, so I should align the measuring tape up. Take the sticky off right here at 12 inches. Leave the rest of it on. All right, I have my right to left measuring tape on. Now I have to do my left to right. So I cut off a more manageable piece, and I have to get this one dead on. There is an adjustment in here that will allow you to make minute changes up to like 3/8 or 5/8 of an inch. But I have this one dead on, so this one's got to be dead on as well. I know this board is exactly 10 inches, so I'm going to make this side 10 inches. So again, taking only that part around 10 inches. That way I can move it if I need to. Dead on. Happy with that. Take the backing off. Yeah, he's a critic. So stick around and I'll show you how I made this CrossCut sled.